When cutting firewood and then splitting it with an axe, you can choose to make a workout out of it. And doing that, you do this sort of thing where you hit it right in the middle. So this isn't even a very big one. I could have hit it harder. God did get a split. So now I can pull the axe out. And I can keep hitting it in that same spot. If you're like me, and you're just trying to get firewood in to the woodshed, get it dried for the over the summer so you can heat your house and keep your family warm for the winter, then a piece of wood like that, instead of hitting it right in the center, if you hit it off center, still didn't go through. But you can see again, didn't hit it very hard, but the crack is significantly bigger. Okay, so now I've got the two cracks there, the two splits. I said crack. I can hit the middle one again. Hit it harder that time, still didn't get through, and only opened it up a little bit more. But now, aim for that other one. Making a liar of myself. But anyways, it splits off pretty easy. Well, you're getting the true version of this. But now, that same log that I've taken a chunk off of, if I hit that one in the middle, you can see that split with one blow. Because once it's been taken out of that round, you've taken a lot of the strength out of it so that it'll split better. So if I grab another piece, here's a bigger piece even. And so now I'm going to go for the first shot on the edge, but I'm going to aim even closer to the edge to get a small piece off of that. See? Only took the one hit, and it is split. Again, if I take that and go right in the middle, that's nothing. It didn't even crack to the edge. It's like an inch on either side of the axe. But now, with this piece removed, again, if I go in the middle, probably on the piece this size wouldn't split it, but only take a couple of hits. The second thing that I wanted to demonstrate in the same video, probably not a good idea putting both of these in the same video, but because this is a piece of birch, come on Spidey, all of God's creatures, eh? There you go. Is birch bark, especially at this time of the year, you can see that if we look closely here, that's the outer bark and that's the inner bark. And you see how they're separating nicely? And that's a nice thick piece of outer bark. So this piece here is what I'm after. I do use the inner bark and the outer bark, but I already took off a piece of, which is what prompted me to do this video. So this is a piece of the outer bark that came off. Unfortunately, it has a gash in it from the chainsaw. Otherwise, that's a beautiful piece of birch bark for doing crafts with. Like you could make a bowl out of that. There's ways of folding it up. You can make a pouch. You can make a, you fold it around and sew it. Or even just that, right? Sew that across there, some crisscross on that. Maybe put a piece of a round off of the log that it came off of at the bottom of it, and tack that on, and you've got yourself a bucket. But as most people, or a lot of people know, birch bark is waterproof. So you could actually make waterproof vessels out of it. So you could, folding it properly, you could end up making a container that'll hold water. And back to the other things that instead of a big pot or bucket that I said on a smaller scale. Same thing, put it in the bottom using a food grade sealant of some sort of food grade glue, and you could actually end up using that as a cup. Anyways, getting way off topic here. I'll get this off. Okay, so this one here, see, a nice piece. Some of the inner bark got stuck on this one, and so that's simple enough. And just peel it off. As I mentioned, this inner bark, there you go, that's 2 pieces. If nothing else, if you don't plan on doing anything with these, it's a nice little sideline. You know, you're not going to get rich doing it, but you get enough pieces like that in that kind of condition, and you can sell them on Facebook Marketplace, here in Canada, Kijiji, Craigslist, crafters. You know, you might even find some stores that might be interested in it. Yeah, the sun's too hot. So back to the inner bark. This stuff here, once you've dried it, you can end up breaking it up and crushing it into almost like a powder. I usually just break it up into little pieces. You know, once it's dried, it snaps pretty easily. It can get pretty tough, but breaking it up into pieces that size or even smaller, you could throw it through a grinder if you wanted to, and you steep that in boiled water, or, you know, almost boiling, a little below boiling. Boil the water anyways, put it in your cup, and then put this in either a bag, or if you've got one of those little tea steepers. And there's actual nutritional value to this stuff. There's nutrients in that. Good stuff. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's got an interesting enough flavor, you know, as a tea. Not like that, but in the tea. I usually throw, you know, a chunk that size broken up into a cup of tea with some, you know, mint leaves or whatever other stuff, other leaves you want if you're into tea drinking at all. It's a nice wintertime beverage, but the nutrients that you get from it are beneficial, especially through the long winters when you're just sort of sitting around by the fire anyways. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got for this one. Not very exciting, but thought it might be interesting. Somebody might find it interesting anyways. Alright, I'm going to say goodbye. Take care.